So in the classification, we were discussing about rule-based classification in the last class. We'll continue with that. So today we'll discuss rule ordering schemes and few more topics. Rule ordering schemes. Rule ordering can be implemented on a rule by rule basis or on a class by class basis. So these are the two methods here, rule by rule basis or class by class basis. Let us see the difference between these two, that is rule by rule basis and class by class basis, with an example. So rule based ordering, you can see here, skin cover is equal to feathers, aerial creature is equal to yes, then it will be birds. Then body temperature is equal to warm blooded, gives birth is equal to yes, it's mammals. Body temperature is equal to warm blooded, gives birth is equal to no, it is birds. So here what we are doing, we are checking the values of attributes here. We are checking the values of attributes and we are creating rules here. Okay. So next one is aquatic creature is equal to semi, it will be amphibians. Skin cover is equal to scales, aquatic creature no, then it will be reptiles. Then skin cover is equal to scales, aquatic creature is equal to yes, then it will be fishes. Then skin cover is equal to none and it will be amphibians, right? So you can notice here, so here we have birds, then we have in between mammals, then again we have birds, right? Here we have amphibians, again amphibians. So here it doesn't depend on the classification. Okay, it doesn't depend on the classification. It is based on the rule. That is based on the values of the attributes. Based on the values of the attributes, we are creating rules here. But in class-based ordering, it is based on the classification. Okay, it will be based on the classification. For example, you can see here, skin cover is equal to feathers, aerial creature is equal to yes, then it will be birds. So again, we have body temperature is equal to warm blooded, gives birth is equal to no, it will be birds again. Okay, so birds, mammals, amphibians, fishes, all these are classification, right? Classifications of vertebrate, right? So here based on the classification, it is dividing. So that is class based ordering. Okay, so you can notice here, then mammals, then we have amphibians, again we have amphibians, then reptiles, then fishes. It is based on the classification, it is ordering. Okay, based on the classification, it is ordering. In rule based ordering, based on the values of the attributes, we are creating the rules. That is rule based ordering. Okay, this is the comparison between rule based ordering and class based ordering schemes. Rule based ordering scheme, this approach, that is rule based ordering scheme, orders the individual rules by some rule quality measure. Depending on the rules, it will order. This ordering scheme ensures that every test record is classified by the best rule covering it. So every test record, it will check with every example given in the data. Given in the data, it will check every example, and based on that, it should classify it as best. Best it should classify it. So it will create a rule like that. Then a potential drawback of this scheme is that lower ranked rules are much harder to interpret because they assume the negation of the rules preceding them. So the rules which are below in the ordering, okay, lower ranked rules means the in ordering, the rules which are below, it will be harder to interpret because it will assume, that is, for example, if we consider this one, aquatic creature is equal to semi-amphibians. The rules previous to it, all these will be considered negated. Okay, that is, if the vertebrate does not have any feathers or cannot fly and is cold-blooded and semi-aquatic, then it is an amphibian. So here it will negate the previous rules. You can notice. So here previous rules. This is the rule, right? This is the rule which we are considering. Okay, this is the rule which we are considering. It will negate the previous rules. Okay, if it is not having feathers, if it cannot fly, if it is not warm-blooded, then it will be considered as amphibians. Okay, whatever the previous rules we have, that will be negated here. Okay, I hope you understood. That is the potential drawback of rule-based ordering scheme. The additional conditions, whatever we have taken, that the vertebrate does not have any feathers or cannot fly and is cold-blooded, are due to the fact that the vertebrate does not satisfy the first 3 rules. Since it is not satisfying the first 3 rules, it will be negated. If the number of rules is large, that is, number of rules are more, then interpreting the meaning of the rules residing near the bottom of the list can be cumbersome task. Then class-based ordering scheme. In class-based ordering scheme, rules that belong to the same class appear together in the rule set R. If we consider rule set R, then the classes, that is rules that have same class, that is, you can notice in the example which we have discussed, first we have birds. Both the rules are for birds, then it is for mammals, then it is for amphibians. So it is based on the rule, it will order. So all the rules which belongs to the same class will appear together in the rule set R. The rules are then collectively sorted on the basis of their class information. The relative ordering among the rules from the same class is not important. As long as one of the rules fires, the class will be assigned to the text record. Okay, unless a particular rule doesn't matches with any of the test record, we need not to worry about the relative ordering. Okay, that is for we have 2 rules for birds, right? Which one comes first, we need not to worry until that rule fires, until that rule doesn't match with any of the test record. This makes rule interpretation slightly easier. However, it is possible for a high quality rule to be overlooked in favor of an inferior rule that happens to predict the higher ranked classes. Okay, so it is possible that high quality rule means rules which are in the beginning will be overlooked in favor of an inferior rules that happens to predict the higher ranked class. Most of the well-known rule-based classifiers such as C4.5 rule and RIPPER employ the class-based ordering scheme. So when compared to these two, rule-based ordering and class-based ordering is easier to interpret. How to build a rule-based classifier? To build a rule-based classifier, we need to extract a set of rules that identifies key relationship between the attributes of a data set and the class label. So key relationship between the attribute values, whatever we have in the data set, we have to check that, and then we have to check the class label also. So for what values of attributes for this class label we have, that key relationship we have to find. There are 2 broad classes of methods for extracting classification rules. First one is direct method, which extracts classification rules directly from the data. Direct method, it will extract the classification rules directly from the data, and indirect methods which extract classification rule from other classification models like decision trees and neural networks. Direct methods partition the attribute space into smaller subspaces so that all the records that belong to a subspace can be classified using a single classification rule. So here, when we have the direct method for each and every classification algorithm will be having its own attribute space. That is values of the attributes, whether it is what kind of classification is assigned to it. Okay, depending on that, it will be having a attribute space, and it will divide that attribute space into smaller subspaces. Which one? Direct method. It will divide it into smaller subspaces of all the record that belongs to a subspace can be classified using single classification rule. Okay, it will divide in such a way that it will be classified using the single classification rule. Okay, based on the classification label again. Indirect method use the classification rules to provide a succinct description of more complex classification models. That is, depending on other classification models, it will decide. That is indirect method. So direct methods for rule extraction. The sequential covering algorithm, we have an algorithm called sequential covering, is used to extract rules from extract rules directly from the data. Rules are grown in a greedy fashion based on a certain evaluation measure. Okay, rules grow in greedy fashion, so it will grow based on the greedy fashion. I think you have learned the greedy fashion. I hope you know that concept, greedy algorithm. Okay, rules will grow according to the greedy fashion based on certain evaluation measure. The algorithm extracts the rules one class at a time for data sets that contain more than two classes. When we have more than two class label, for example, yes or no, positive or negative, or any other, two or more, okay, two or more classes, then the rule extracts based on the classification label. Okay, the algorithm extracts the rules one class at a time. So when we have two rules, for example, positive and negative, first it will evaluate for positive, then it will evaluate for negative. So when we have three rules, one at a time it will consider, okay, based on the class label. For the vertebrate classification problem, we have many labels, right? Like we have birds, mammals, amphibians, reptiles, fishes, right? So here, for the vertebrate classification problem, the sequential covering algorithm may generate rules for classifying birds first, followed by rules for classifying mammals, then amphibians, then reptiles, and then fishes. The criterion for deciding which class should be generated first depends on a number of factors, such as the class prevalence, that is the fraction of training records that belong to a particular class, or the cost of misclassifying records from a given class. Okay, that is deciding which class should be generated first, which one we have to consider first. For example, whether we have to consider birds, whether we have to consider amphibians as the first one. It depends on the number of factors based on the algorithm that we have taken. Like for example, class prevalence means that is how many training records that belong to this particular class, or the cost of misclassifying records. Okay, what is the cost of misclassifying that particular record from a given class? Depending on that, it will decide which rule should come first. Sequential covering algorithm. Consider this algorithm. First step will be let E be the training records. E is the set of training records and A is the set of attribute value pairs. That is, A will contain AJ, VJ. AJ will be attribute name and VJ will be its values. Let Y naught be an ordered set of classes. Okay, that is, for example, if you have three classes for, here you have five classes, right? Whatever the example we have considered, we have five classes. So birds, then mammals, amphibians, reptiles, and fishes, right? Five classes we have considered. So all the five classes will be ordered here. Okay, why not be an ordered set of classes y1 to yk? Okay, let R is equal to empty set be the initial rule list. Okay, it's an empty set which is the initial rule list. For each class y belongs to y naught minus yk. So excluding the last rule, we are excluding that last rule yk. It is rules that are ordered depending on the priority. Okay, rules that are ordered depending on the priority. So y1 will be having highest priority and yk will be having least priority. So don't include that last one because it is having least priority. That will be used for generating the default cases or default rule. Okay, so y naught minus yk, consider each value, consider each class from this y. Then while stopping condition is not met, until the stopping condition is met, execute all the statements within the while loop. So first statement within the while loop is R is equal to learn one rule. It will learn one rule at a time. We have to pass the value E, we have to pass the value A, and we have to pass the class which we have considered, that is Y. E is the set of training records. E is all the example that is stored in the data. Okay, A is the attribute value pair. Which attribute we are considering, based on that you have to pass here. Okay, learn one rule at a time. It will consider one rule at a time and it will create that which best matches with the test records. Okay, that will be assigned to R. This will be one single rule. Okay, and then remove training records from E that are covered by R. So you have already matched certain examples which matches this R. So based on that, this rule is created. So once it is created, remove those records from the training set. Okay, from the training set, remove those records so that we can create other rules for remaining records. Okay, so remove those records from the training set and then add R to the bottom of the rule list. Okay, to the bottom of the rule list, we are going to add this. Add R to the bottom of the rule list. R is equal to R, combine this R. Okay, this is a combining with the R. R or symbol, then R. Okay, R is small r is single rule. R is capital R is set of rule list. Okay, it's a set of rule list. So here small r is single rule. We are going to add that rule to the list. Then end the while loop. Then end the for loop. Then insert the default rule. So we have left with that yk, right, which is having least priority. So insert the rule, default rule yk to the bottom of the rule list R. If any record doesn't matches with any of the classification, then by default it will match with the yk. Okay, that is the concept. The algorithm starts with an empty decision list R. So whatever we have discussed, same thing I have given in the explanation here. The algorithm starts with an empty decision list R. The learn one rule function is then used to extract the best rule for class Y that covers the current set of training records. During the rule extraction, all training records for class Y are considered to be positive example. Positive example means that matches with that example. Okay, while those that belong to other classes are considered to be negative example. That is, that doesn't belongs to that particular class will be considered as negative example. A rule is desirable if it covers most of the positive example and none or very few of the negative example. So rule we consider it as best one if it matches with a positive example. Once such a rule is found, the training records covered by the rules are eliminated. That will be removed from the training records. The new rule is added to the bottom of the decision list R. This procedure is repeated until the stopping criterion is met. This algorithm then proceeds to generate rules for the next class. Okay, let us consider this with an example. Consider this as original data. So here we have two classification, positive and negative. Here we have two classification, plus or minus, positive and negative. So here while considering, you can notice that we have a rectangular covering for the positive example. This is the most positive, that is more positive example in this collection. So figure 5.2 demonstrate how the sequential covering algorithm works for a data set that contains a collection of positive and negative examples. Okay, you can notice here that is we have positive examples in this set, that is which is marked by R1. We have 6 records. Then in the bottom also we have 4 records, but this is having most positive records, right? So this will be considered first. So it is considered as R1, rule R1. Okay, the rule R1 whose coverage is shown in the figure 5.2b is extracted first because it covers the largest fraction of positive example. Okay, more number of positive example is in this area. So that will be covered by rule R1. Okay, then after that, those positive examples are removed from the training record. Because if you keep it as it is, in the next iteration, again it will consider the same set. So to avoid that, it will be removed from the training record, and then it will take up the next set of positive example, which is having more fraction. Okay, all the training records covered by R1 are subsequently removed, and the algorithm proceeds to look for the next best rule, which is, for example, R2. Okay, so this will continue. Again, it will take up next set of positive example and it will be marked as R3. Okay, this will continue until we cover all the positive examples. So learn one rule function The objective of the learn one rule function is to extract a classification rule that covers many of the positive example and none of the negative example, or very few of the negative example in the training set. Okay, if you can notice in R2, in R1, it has not covered any negative example, right? But in R2, it has covered one negative example. You can notice here. Okay, you can notice here. So the objective of this learn one rule function is to extract the classification rule. It will extract the classification rule that covers all the positive example in the given area, in the given, that is divided area, and very few or none of the negative example in the training set. So finding an optimal rule is computationally expensive given the exponential size of the search space. So if the search space is very large, then computation time is more. Okay, that's why it is computationally expensive. Okay, it is computationally expensive when we have this search space is very large. The learn one rule function addresses the exponential search problem by growing the rule in a greedy fashion. Okay, it will, that is when we have the search space, large search space, the number of rules created by this learn one rule function will be more. So it will grow in a greedy fashion. It generates an initial rule R and keeps refining the rule until a certain stopping criterion is met. So initially it will create one rule, that is R, and keep on changing that value, keep on changing that rule until the stopping criterion is met. The rule is then pruned. Pruned means the values within that will be removed to improve its generalization error. Okay, it should match with all the positive examples, right? It should match with all the positive examples. So we have to generalize the rule. We have to generalize the rule so that it matches with more number of positive examples. So it will be pruned. The pruned means the unnecessary values are, or unnecessary attribute values will be removed from the rule. So this is about rule-based classification. We have few more concepts in this. We'll discuss that in the next class.